So let's do what we did in session 1 for session 2. Life-proof cases, $69 to be safe in your entire life in every way possible. Minglebird, socialize with the people around you based upon keywords. Savings.com, all your deals in one place, in one simple, personalized feed. Shop Squad, live experts help you make hard decisions for your products. 140 Fire, making interactive advertising for video that doesn't suck. Did you guys have a favorite? Go ahead.
I guess 145. I guess that would be something I could see being useful and saleable
140
to another.
Fire, yeah.
Only that they could sell it to Google or whoever.
YouTube or whoever.
YouTube or whatever. And then the second one, I think what Savings.com is doing is important in this space.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Kevin, have a favorite?
I'm tied with 145 and Savings, and I think that Shop Squad I think is interesting. There's something there. I don't think they've nailed it, but I feel like there's kind of something there. If I land on a product page somewhere and somebody can give me a personal recommendation that's used that product in real time, I can actually see that person, especially if it's a big purchase. That would be important to me. Sort
of like a next generation QVC maybe. Authenticity maybe an issue there, like how expert are the experts? I mean, if it's Leo Laporte or, I don't know, if it's Ryan from GDGT telling you what phone to buy, that sounds like I would pay for that service.
Yeah, absolutely. If it notified them and so they could come online and that I was looking at that product and then all of a sudden they appear and I get that recommendation, that's huge.
Yeah, there's something in that zone. So you said 140 Fire and Savings.com and Shop Squad. Okay. Aaron, what did you like?
Life cases. I think
really?
they could expand their. I think it's small as just cases, but I think you could expand your product line and become like the Monster Cables is for all the cabling to all of the accessories and cases, which are now often more expensive, not just for iPhones but for cameras than the actual devices, or are becoming.
Feels extensible.
Yes, it does. And then Savings.com after that.
Awesome. Greg, what do you think?
My favorite was life-proof cases also because they didn't screw up my iPhone.
And just to be clear, you didn't know they were going to do that?
No. They told me it was a magic trick.
They lied. I like that.
And my runner-up is actually Minglebirds. I also feel that they haven't nailed it execution-wise, but it's a really interesting space of combining real-time with location with interest-based matching for meeting people.
Did you see Domo yesterday by chance?
Yeah, I thought that was.
So compare and contrast Domo to Minglebirds, similar ideas. Which one did you like better and why?
I thought the ideas were very similar. I mean, it was just meeting people based on location and interests. I thought the Domo UI was a bit more interesting and seemed a bit more usable, and they definitely had a more interesting presentation.
Yes. Okay. Simon.
Boom.
Boom.
My first pick would be Savings.com. I think it's probably one of the bigger opportunities, and that would be the company I'd be most likely to invest in.
Right.
However, I'm more passionate about Shop Squad, but it'd be my second choice, mostly just because I really like companies that provide opportunities for people to work from home. However, I'm with Kevin. I don't think they've really carved out their market, and I actually think it should be targeted towards men, because I help men pretty much every day about what shirts they should buy and all sorts of stuff. I get messages every day, and I think that, no offense to men, but they need help shopping.
Awesome. Mo, which one are you most likely to take a meeting with, invest in?
I liked Savings.com, although I think they have a little bit of an unfair advantage because they have 5 million users. And
they are a 2.0, that's correct.
A million registered. So, but if you're going to compete in the shopping space, given all the noise there, I think they have a bit of a leg up with an existing community to do something differentiated. And then I was kind of, nothing really blew me away. I thought 145 was interesting, but it feels like a tool to me and not a network. And I think there's very little value to be carved up in the ad stack right now unless you really build a network. So I'd probably go with Shop Squad. Because I think they're on to a big idea. I just don't think the execution is right, so I'd encourage them to think a little bit more about how to bring expertise into the shopping experience in a streamlined fashion. But there's something in that I think is powerful.
Let's unpack the Shop Squad a little bit. Everybody seems to be fascinated, but everybody's saying the execution isn't quite there. Can we get more specific? What specifically should the execution be? Does anybody have a stab at it?
A couple things that I noticed is I think they maybe over-prioritize the video. I think that people tend to do that just because it's video and it's a great medium, but I don't know if you need video to solve that problem. I think also they haven't really thought through how to get the right supply in the system. I mean, in terms of supply, I mean the right kinds of experts. How do you qualify them? You know, what are their motivations? I think they should remove all the monetary incentive. I don't think that's what people do it for. I think they do it for other things. And so that to me is all about the supply equation. How do you get the right people in with the right motivations in front of the right consumer for the right purchase? And I think
so. Maybe take the Quora-like approach. For status.
I actually thought it was a bit. It reminded me a bit of Quora in some ways, but I think it's much more tactical, focused, targeted around specific vertical purchasing categories, and I think there's something in that.
Let me talk to my other product experts, Aaron, Kevin, Greg. You guys all build wildly successful products that tens of millions of people have used, and in some cases paid for. What would you do if you were in charge of ShopSquad to make it better?
I think that I've left a bunch of star reviews on Amazon in the past on a whole slew of different products. If there was a way for that platform to contact me in real time and say, hey, there's a person that's interested in purchasing this product, jump on, have a chat conversation with them, you'll walk away with a couple bucks if they buy it, blah, blah, blah. It'll allow me to jump into that conversation. You know, when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about buying something new and I look on Amazon and it's reviewed by 12,000 people, but yet I can't have a conversation with any one of those people that actually owns the product, that's like, seems like a good kind of little niche or market to go after.
Aaron, what would you do if you were in charge of product all of a sudden?
I kind of like Cyan's idea, which is men need help shopping. And if you want to keep the video aspect, men need help dressing as well. So it's almost like your wingman or your wingwoman for the style of your life. She lives across the country. You can't get engaged with her at all, but she can help you out tremendously in your local area.
It's like left leg in the pants first, you know, then you put the right leg in, like really basic stuff just to start.
Greg, any thoughts? What would you do to change the product if you were in charge?
I don't know that I have anything super strong to add. I do think there is probably too much of a focus on a video and real time, and there are probably just better ways to present it.
Let's take a look at, before we end, Session 1 and Session 2 combined. We saw 11 companies. Just to recap, the Session 1 companies, Room 77, Lockify, FTW, Screener.co, Stomp.io, and Stockbrokers. And Session 2, you remember LifeProof Cases, Minglebird, Savings.com, ShopSquad, 140fire. I'd like each of you to pick your absolute favorite. If you could own shares in the company or work for one of the companies, which one of the 11 would you pick? You can only pick one.
My obvious pick is Room 77.
Okay, we got Room 77.
I think it's a great idea. It serves a need. It has some obvious monetization opportunities, and I wish I had shares in it.
Okay.
I don't get shares in things, but I think Room 77, I like the Airbnbs of the world. I like VRBOs, and I like any improvement in this travel area.
Awesome. Aaron, you said Room 77.
Agreed. Yeah.
Kevin?
I just like to book my hotel and be done with it. I'm not into Room 77. It's like I don't really care that much if I see a little piece of the ocean.
I've noticed sometimes when we're out, you probably don't spend all that much time in the room.
I don't.
No.
I'm actually out
You
socializing.
tend to be out socializing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
I'm going to say savings.
Oh, okay. Great. Cyan.
Room 77.
Okay, Mo?
Room 77.
Okay, almost a clean sweep. Let's thank our judges. They did an awesome job. Mo, Cyan, Greg, Kevin, and Aaron. We're going to go to lunch. There's also the startup mentoring occurring upstairs if you've signed up for that, only for startups. Did anybody go to startup mentoring? Has anybody gone? Was it good? Was it helpful? All right, I've heard some really good things. We're going to try to do that more and more, but it's only for startups. So if you're like a real estate broker or lawyer, that's all cool, headhunter, but don't take the spots from the startups. We're going to have lunch. Please, please go see those companies on the Launchpad. They're awesome. Grand jury, find us a couple that we can put on this afternoon, and we'll see everybody after the break. Thanks again, judges.